Commanders Field holds a little more than 80,000, and they have come out in droves here in Landover, Maryland. Here's Austin Seibert now to get this one started, and off we go from Northwest Stadium at Landover. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. First carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of... Found a little bit of your... And frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Now it's the veteran Jamal Williams. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here comes the Saints punter now. They'll kick it away after 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. This is brought in at the 21. So the punt goes for 56 with a decent return of 13. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, come on.
Here's Daniels. Here's a screen for Robinson. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
79 Broncos. Go.
Throwing now is Daniels. And that's complete to McCaffrey. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Off the play fake, Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 40 yards. And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Daniels going to try and throw for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Dorrance Armstrong. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. 3rd and 19. Carr now to throw. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Now the Washington offense back onto the field. They'll go for 2 here. Now they send a man in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It was Cleveland Ferrell who was able to rush in and make that tackle. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. On 3rd down, here's Williams. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I'm not quite sure they got the spark that they wanted on 3rd down. In fact, I think they gave that spark to their opponent instead, because that big stop has galvanized the sideline, and it starts their offense out with some momentum.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking it about the 36. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
On the set. Trap 60, trap 60. Let's go. 19 Lions. Let's go.
Now Daniels. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Let's go now. Seven Pirates. Warriors 70.
To the air goes Daniels. That's to McCaffrey, complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. To throw is Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
18, Pioneer.
Daniels looking to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Ready. Go.
Looking to throw. Daniels. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Ready.
Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
18 Rattler. Ready. 19 tight. Ready.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And that is no good. And this will stay a 12-point game. So 1st and goal quickly turns into 4th and goal, and then 4th and goal turns into no points whatsoever.
That's a very disappointing sequence of events right there. And I, for one, would not want to be the kicker who has to run over to his head coach and explain that one.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's Matthew Hayball now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 20. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And they will take over 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. In motion goes the tight end.
Cup 19.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, he'll take a shot from McCaffrey downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two. They'll try and throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And he returns this to the 22. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels being chased out left. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Oh, he'll take a shot for McCaffrey downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It was Deron Payne who got in there to make the play. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Again, it's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. A toss to the wide side. This is Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jamal Williams, a 23-yard run. And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw. Daniels. Oh, he'll take a shot for McCaffrey downfield. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Well, now how about this return? And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A toss to the wide side. This is Williams. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here we go with Williams. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Ready? Panther 11. Panther 11. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Daniels towards the end zone for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Okay,
now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Stop, ready? Buffalo 18.
Operating from the gun. Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Back to throw again. Towards the end zone for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
19 Lions.
They'll look to throw again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Daniels from the gun on third down. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
They'll take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. Now a 2nd and 10.
What now?
Kamara try the right side. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now Carr, got to have this one. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Now he's free at the 35. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all, because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They'll look to throw here on first down. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. 2nd and 1. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Ready.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. 2nd and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
And that flag accepted.
Ready, set.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at the 40.
Here we go. Ready.
Here's Daniels.
Crowder's got it over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Daniels.
That's complete as he goes right back to Crowder. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Second and 2. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 18. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This one caught by Crowder. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
This 2nd and 4. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Robinson is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Brian Robinson Jr.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. Daniels going to try and throw for it.
And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but I
like where we're going with this. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
broken glass of a bottle makes a Jagger rock. Right now I got two shaky hands, only one way to stop. And I haven't touched it for 7 hours, 3 minutes. Hardly up, already wanna quit quitting. Sweating in an old church basement, wishing I was. Never thought I'd say this.
Hello, my name's Jason.
And I've been losing myself, I've been losing my mind. And I've been standing in the rain just trying to stay. I was so ashamed to be in this seat till I met a man who was 20 years. He said everybody here's felt the same defeat. Nobody walks through these doors on a winning streak. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. The broken man in the mirror can't look at me 'cause he's guilty. And I swear that the last couple months that tried to kill me. By the time I saw it coming, it was done with already. It's hard to run from it when it runs in the family. A problem with 1,000 more it's causing. Damn, it's exhausting. This is why I walked in.
Thanks for letting me share, y'all.
And I've been losing myself, I've been losing my mind. And I've been standing in the rain just trying to stay. I was so ashamed to be in this seat till I met a man who was 20 years. He said everybody here's felt the same defeat. Nobody walks through these doors on a winning streak. I'm tired of being broken. I'm sick of feeling hopeless. Way down here at my lowest. At the end of my road. At the end of my road. So what do I do? So what do I do? What do I do? And I've been losing myself, I've been losing my mind. And I've been standing in the rain just trying to stay. I was so ashamed to be in this seat till I met a man who was 20 years. He said everybody here's felt the same defeat. Nobody walks through these doors on a winning streak. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on.
All right, now.
Hold up, what you saying? Look up, you ain't hitting no more. Fix up with a bang. Got drip when they hit that door. You did it on me. Baby, it's me. Should we go up, down? You go bounce with me. Make it bounce. Make it bounce. Make it bounce. Make it bounce. Switch that flow, straight back, on them feet, bounce that, get down low, bounce, rap, yes indeed. By the telling me something, maybe I need to figure out how the hell are we cutting. I got a deed to the house, and the less of the, if you tryna do something, you gotta lead with the bounce. Make it bounce, bounce for me. Make it bounce, bounce for me. Make it on a handstand. Make it bounce, bounce for me. Make it on a handstand. Make it bounce. Make it bounce. Make it bounce.
Man, what a hell of a year it's been. Keep on bluffing, but I just can't win. Drown my sorrows, but they learn to swim. Man, what a hell of a year it's been. Head in a bottle, put my heart in a case. Yeah, it's getting harder to act my age. Play a sad song on a tiny violin for the man at the bar confessing his sins. I need some good news. Send me sipping on cold fruit.